The Duchess of Edinburgh was visibly moved to tears during her recent visit to Chad, where she met with refugees who had fled the brutal civil war in Sudan. During her time there, the Duchess listened to their heartbreaking accounts of sexual violence and the harrowing experiences they endured. Sophie, 59, became the first member of the royal family to make an official visit to the Central African country, spending 3 days in Chad, including a day at the border with Sudan, before departing on Monday afternoon. At a hospital center in Audrey, near the border, the Duchess hugged 5 survivors of conflict-related sexual violence after hearing what they had been through. Overcome with emotion, Sophie was moved to tears as she addressed the media following the private meeting, reflecting on the profound impact of the survivors' courage and resilience. "People are having to exchange food and water for sex, for rape," she said. "That is violence that is being enacted through conflict. It is being used as a bargaining tool. These women have no option but to leave. And, even then, they're lucky if some of them can get away because some of the villages and towns that they come from they can't even leave their houses anymore. If they leave their houses they get killed," the royal added. "What they do to the children is, I can't even use the words." The Duchess, who has 2 children, Lady Louise Windsor, 20, and 16-year-old James, the Earl of Wessex with her husband the Duke of Edinburgh, admitted she was quite wobbly after hearing the women's experiences, which she described as devastating. One of the women who Sophie met said afterwards she had fled the city of Janaina, in the West Darfur region of Sudan, after thousands of people were killed in a matter of days. The woman said her family had been threatened with death and rape if they left their home, while her teenage son and brothers were among men who were rounded up and taken away. After arriving in Chad's capital city N'Djamena on Saturday, Sophie took an early morning flight on Sunday to Farchana on the other side of the country. A motorcade with a military escort then took her a further hour-and-a-half's drive, over rough terrain, to Audrey, where more than 220,000 refugees, mostly women and children, are living in a camp after fleeing following the conflict between the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and the paramilitary RSF which broke out in April 2023. After her emotional meeting with the sexual violence survivors, Sophie visited a session run by Plan International, which runs mobile protection units to try to identify children in the camps who need help. The Duchess is a champion of the UN's Women, Peace and Security Agenda, WPS, and a supporter of the UK's Preventing Sexual Violence in Conflict Initiative, PSVI.